Hi guys, I'm Vanessa.
Hi guys, I'm Zen.
And welcome to Life of a Fashion Intern in Singapore! For some context, I'm a year 3 business student in NUS, going year 4.
I'm a current year 3 business student in SMU.
I did a fashion internship last year in summer, so that was like last May till August at Bonito, which is one of Asia's leading fashion
retail
brands. Yes.
For me, I just finished my brand and content marketing internship at a fashion rental company here in Singapore. They're called Style Theory.
It's like a subscription service where you get a box of clothes every month. Very sustainable. I wanted to join Bonito was because last year I took a leave of absence to do my own fashion startup. It's kind of like fashion subscription, somewhat like Style Theory but in a different space.
You want to tell us more about it?
For another video.
Sure.
Yeah, and then so it didn't really work out because of COVID and there's just not much demand for it, so I decided to use my time elsewhere. And then after that, a friend of mine sent me a LinkedIn job description for Bonito product management intern.
Interesting.
And I honestly had not much idea of what product managers do. But I was thinking, okay, since I'm quite free during summer, and it was somewhat like business and somewhat tech, so I thought it was a really good middle ground for someone like me without much computing or programming experience. And also at a point in time, I just ended my incubation for my startup called the Bridge Fashion Incubator. So I thought like, okay, joining Bonito was like perfect because I'm already learning about the fashion space. And you know, every girl has some sort of dream of doing fashion one point in life.
That is completely true for me.
Right, like designing like dresses and stuff like that.
Being a fashion designer or like, you know, having some aspirational goal.
Yeah, stylist or anything. So I thought, okay, I probably won't be a designer, but you know, interning at a fashion company would be quite fun. How about you? Like, why do you apply for Style Theory?
Like you mentioned before, I had interest in fashion since young. So like it started during primary school and I was like, hey, I want to be a fashion designer. Turns out it didn't work. I went on to study business instead. My Asian parents didn't let me go to art school and I'm not talented enough to go to one. But
I actually wanted to go to an art school too.
Yeah, fun, right?
I was thinking of LaSalle or Nanyang Arts.
I don't have that talent, yo. I just realized. I actually applied for Style Theory like in 2019 during my first year of uni. I didn't hear back from them at all, and then I tried to apply this time again and I did get it.
And what worked this time?
I think it's a measure of not giving up and luck. So two things combined together. I just reached out to the brand manager at Style Theory on LinkedIn and lucky enough she replied me. Yeah.
Okay, and what was the application process like?
Okay, so for me it was a bit different. So the hiring process might vary from, you know, different teams that you might apply for and the different situation. I honestly just connected with my current boss, Ashika, shout out to her. I connected with her through LinkedIn. I sent her a message and she told me to send my resume over and we hopped on a quick phone call.
So it's just resume, a submission and a phone call?
Yeah.
Because mine is more on product manager role, right? And that requires a bit more technical skill. And I think 3 months is not enough time to really like teach all the fundamentals. So I think they expected some sort of PM knowledge already, which I didn't really have, but I learned a lot. I read a lot before my job application process.
Nice.
So it started with a case first. So the case was about like some sort of marketing funnel and analytics. Okay, like which part of the funnel do you identify a problem and what's the solution? How are you gonna test it? So in my case, I did slides about like A/B testing, about Google Analytics or something like that. I don't really remember it, but I think my slide was about like a 12-page slide, but very simple stuff. Yeah, but I don't think it was that difficult because I read up quite a fair bit of things online. And also I had a friend who was ex-Carousel CRM guy who gave me some tips that helped me along the way in my case preparation. Then step 2 was presenting the case, and then step 3 was interview with my supervisor, Julie, as well as the head of growth at a point in time. So what's your day-to-day like in your brand marketing role?
The first thing I do every morning is see what is there to post. Our designers, our writers, our copywriters will send out what to post today in monday.com. So we have cards, like this curation is out for the day. The next day we have a user-generated content. So there's different pieces each time. So I'll go on Slack and the first thing I'll do each morning is to type down what is going to be posted for today. So next, I clear the cards on monday.com. So the cards are literally like what task that we have to do. So it could be like copywriting for the app curation, it could be research for sustainability metrics on the industry. So like different things. I did a lot of research, and which I really liked actually.
Did you have to overtime a lot?
Over time, I would say being in marketing and being in social media, I think you do need to be flexible, because sometimes the graphics aren't out like super on time. You know, our graphic designers put in so much effort into creating all of these graphics, so they really want to perfect it. So if you know, I end at 7, and if I have to post after 7, I'll still do it. So that's kind of my overtime.
And I saw like sometimes you do like create content and shoot like photos or videos also, right?
Yeah, that is the exciting part. So we do get to go to office and we work with our production manager. He directs us, so sometimes we do shoots like some nice TikTok fashion videos to showcase our different rental apparel and our resale apparel, and we do like try on different designer bags.
Wait, can I see like the TikTok they are in?
Gosh, it's so
she modeled for
endless.
her own video and photos also, which
Oh
is
my
so exciting.
goodness. Okay, I think that's for another time, because we do not have the content right now. Yeah, but
okay.
I think for Van, someone very interested and very well versed in this fashion industry since young. You started modeling since young, and so how's it like? How's it different being like in a fashion intern now?
Well, it's
What new
entirely,
insights, you know?
it's entirely different because I'm only more experienced in, say, doing content creation for brands as like an influencer or model, like
Expert.
commercial model.
For
But I
sure.
don't know what goes on at the back end of it. Like, and it's completely different. It's so much analytics. I think Love Bonito is a very data-driven company.
Yeah.
They tell you what works and what doesn't, and that drives every part of the business. A lot of customer engagement and interviews also. So my task in Love Bonito was a fair bit of checking the NPS scores, which is your Net Promoter Score, and also doing quite a bit of Google Analytics. So if we see something amiss, right, then there's something that we need to A/B test. And together with my supervisor, we do A/B tests largely for the website features. Like if you place the button here versus we don't put the button here.
What's
like,
the effect?
What's the conversion rates like? So we track conversions rate literally on a day-to-day basis, and we see what features to keep and what features to discard. Besides that, I did quite a lot of user interviews also.
Fun fact,
yes.
Jan actually interviewed me for Love
yeah,
Bonito
that's
Malaysia.
Oh yeah, that's the first time we met.
Exactly, the first time we met
On
is through an
Zoom.
interview for Love Bonito.
Bonito generally is more like mid-20s and above kind of brand.
I think I'm the outlier, you know, like boom.
Yeah, but I needed some
Yeah.
Malaysian interviewees, so I got friends and friends to like recommend. We identify like some issues in the user journey and some things that we can test afterwards. And some of the tools I use includes like Hotjar, which I used to see like user behavior on the website. So it can get a bit technical, but I thought it was really fun. Like you really can see the user journey and experience through different metrics, heat maps and all that. I think the more challenging part of my internship was a bit of programming, because I had zero programming knowledge, right? But okay, at least the programming language that I use was HTML, which is very easy to learn. Everything you can find on Google. So I had to program some pop-ups, which is like maybe at least twice a week or once a week.
That's quite technical, right?
Yeah, quite technical.
Yeah.
But I got some computing friends to help me along the way if I needed to. I did a lot of like Excel, which I was really weak in at the start, and I think
I can relate.
I think I literally got told off quite a few times at the start.
You know, being a beginner with all these technical stuff, was there someone in the company that would guide you and help you?
Yeah, actually I would say not just my manager, but the rest of the team in the growth team, right, was very happy to offer help. At first I felt like super noob, but eventually like, I think at least the second month to the third month, right, I felt quite okay. Like, what was the most challenging part about your internship?
I do like marketing. I do come from a bit of that background, but honestly when you put it in the context of a company, it's not just the marketing you learn in textbooks. It's really about understanding their brand, understanding the company you work in, understanding the business model, which I actually had a bit of challenge trying to understand it. I was researching for our company's sustainability metrics. So I started off with researching on the fashion industry sustainability metrics. So how much carbon emissions does the fashion industry produce yearly as a whole, water wastage, water pollution, all of that stats, and I've compiled them together. But when I tried to come up with the fashion sustainability calculator, so how much water we use, how much electricity and the sort, I realized that I didn't really understand our business model well enough, but thankfully I always ask questions to my direct boss. So something that I assumed about a delivery process might be completely wrong or completely different, and I actually had to ask my boss because she really knows all the back-end stuff, how we actually work. Yeah.
Actually, I have a question. How do you tell whether consumers care about it? Or is it more for an internal usage, like this calculation?
I would say fashion these days has evolved to become more sustainable. I think every company really wants to be more sustainable, and you know, with fast fashion and all of that, it's really polluting for the earth, and more consumers are aware of this. So the stats wise, I think it's a very good content piece. We can generate many content pieces from these stats, and consumers will actually be interested.
I think they care about the company mission and what they're trying to do to achieve it.
Yes.
And they feel empowered when they're part of this mission to be more sustainable.
Absolutely
like,
correct.
I think by themselves, maybe it's very cumbersome to be all go green and all that, but you know, being part of something that's fun and cool
and trendy, honestly,
and trendy, but
trendy.
also sustainable, then I guess the consumers like that also.
Yeah. What about culture at Love Bonito? You know, like it's super hashtag girl power, and I actually really like that. So how's it like?
Super. Okay, so honestly, right, when I first applied, I was scared about like a lot of like company politics
really
and
mad?
bitchiness.
Got mad?
But guess what? When I came here, it was very warm and friendly, really nice and warm. The only caveat was that because mine was a remote internship, I only met my team physically on the second last day of my internship for drinks. But that's about it. Everything else was over like Zoom, which was quite unfortunate. Yeah,
It sucks.
So it's a bit difficult to network and like get to know each other like personally. But I would say it's very nice. Like the whole entire company like meetings are fun. They actually gave a lot of effort to like company bonding and employee welfare. But people there are insane hustlers. Like they work throughout lunch, they have lunch guild, they OT. We have product launches sometimes at night because that's where you have the lowest traffic. So for like big product launches, like we did the loyalty program launch last year. So basically like from 11:30 p.m. till like 3 a.m. we have to be up like launching this product. But generally my supervisor is very understanding. Like if we have like a big launch that is like around midnight and I lose a bit of sleep because of that, she's like, okay, next day you can come in a bit later.
I think interning in COVID is a whole different experience. Sometimes it can get really
lonely.
Yeah, lonely. Just there's something missing, you know. There's that social element that's missing.
Correct. But at least you get to go to the office. I've never been to the Love Bonito office at once.
Not even once?
Not even once.
Oh no! Okay, Love Bonito, please like open the doors for her. Like, my team is very small and very warm. Yeah, so they integrated me quite well, which was very cute. So we do have like this weekly huddle. It's basically like Zoom, but it's in a GIF like format. So like we have this thing called campfire. So all of our faces, but instead of face, we do pick a GIF. So we do ask each other about, you know, how was your weekend? What's your focus this week? What's your small win this week? Since I'm only a 3-month intern, I think I would definitely connect with them more if I stayed at the company for longer. Yeah.
Now moving forward, right, would you continue pursuing this industry in fashion, or would you consider this brand marketing role as a full-time option?
Yeah, I think marketing for me is very feasible. Like I think this is a career role that I want to work towards too. But I do definitely want to try out different industries. Fashion is something that I think I will definitely come back to, given the opportunity and given my interest in this space.
For me, I think fashion industry is just I mean, I think it's really interesting and fun.
Very fun.
I may or may not go into it. I'm more concerned about the role and the job scope. I think as of now, I don't think I will continue doing product management. I think it's really interesting, but I don't think that's my strength. Now, I think I would want a bit more outside facing role where I get to speak to people. It's a bit more social, exploring things like consulting and eventually startup in the future. So I don't know, maybe my future startup might be also in the fashion industry. It might not be fashion subscription like what I thought of last time, but might also be something related to fashion. So
very
who knows?
Interesting.
Did this internship experience help you get closer to your dream of being a business owner?
I think it was very insightful to intern in this startup. We are, I would say, a larger startup. We have business in Indonesia and Hong Kong. So I did get to learn and listen in onto those regional meetings. You can really see how a startup is run. and that gave me insights into how I want to run my own startup in the future.
I think the product management experience is super valuable because I get to understand a user experience on a more technical level. So in the future, I think most companies and startups should have some sort of digital platform to integrate these product management toolkits into my future startup as well. So what kind of people should apply for your role? Like for yours, you don't need too much technical skills, right? As long as you're very interested in that.
Yeah, you need the passion and like ready to learn the skills on the go. I do encourage art students to apply as well. A lot of employees in our company actually came from art or a design background. They also know how to learn on the brand and marketing side, which is very important.
Interesting. And for me, I think product management, intern in a fashion space, right, is perfect for business students who are looking to learn a bit more technical skills, very basic programming, business analytics, which I thought was very useful, or even computing students who are looking to understand more business objectives, because a PM has to have the business acumen as well as the technical skill sets as well.
I would say be ready to do more things and create outside of your job scope, such as wear our clothes and shoot and increase our user-generated content.
For me, I think one last tip is that you really have to have a real authentic interest in fashion, because honestly you can do the same role in any other industry. That's it for our video on life of a fashion intern in Singapore.
Thank you for tuning in.
And if you have any other questions for us, do leave it down in the comments below, and we can't wait to read all of them. And if you have enjoyed this video, give us a like, comment down below, and share this with all your friends. And hit subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye.